Hey guys, it's Malls. Thanks so much for listening to Please Advise. Just a quick message before the show. Don't forget to subscribe in iTunes. It's super helpful for us and super helpful for you. You can also call 323-450-7408 to get your calls on the show. Again, 323-450-7408. Or email askpleaseadvise@gmail.com with your voice notes or emails. Thanks so much. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 155 of Please Advise. Today's guest is someone that I have known for 10 years, maybe 10 years. Okay, you guys, it's Jess Rona. She's a dog groomer, but more than that, she's now a celebrity dog groomer. I remember, didn't you start out like Tail Waggers or something?
Oh yeah, back in the day.
So, okay.
Yeah.
We know each other through UCB, and then more prominently, former guest of the pod and dear friend of the pod, Eric Moneypenny, and I dated for a long time, and he was part of the Midnight Mansion, which I compared my own house to because it's a mess right now, but it was basically like a jizz-covered castle, like on Wilton. It was disgusting,
I had
right?
so many weird nights there.
I mean,
It
who
was
hasn't?
dark when I went there, so I never really saw it.
It
God
was
there was
dark,
no
and
light.
it was dark in every use of the word. Like, it's
Yes.
just always dark there. No light. No light inside of people, inside the house. Like, it was just a very dark place. Really, that's like the thing where I figured out that comedy is such like a dark landscape of bitter people. Like, I didn't realize. By the way, no offense if you're listening, you know who you are.
Anybody who is a comedian knows
They know
that they're dark and dead inside.
But you know, these guys were a particular breed. But you were always a ray of sunshine. And I don't know if you remember how much Ed and I loved you, but like we would see you and like freak out. We'd be like, "Oh my God, Jess Rona!" And you would show up with your acoustic guitar, and like you would just be like, you were like our stoner friend. You and your friend Bailey, is that right?
Yes.
And so we loved it whenever you would make an appearance. And then years later. And wouldn't say we fell out of touch. We just stopped seeing each other as much because we weren't hanging out in that house. And I was at a charity event with my ex, who's very good friends with your now husband. And he was saying, "Oh, you know, my girl's a dog groomer. You should meet her." And I was like, "What's her name?" And I'm like, I kind of knew it was going to be you. And then he pulls out a card that says Jess Rona. I'm like, "Your girlfriend is Jess Rona?" And he's like, "Yeah, why?" I'm like, "I love her." And so I feel like we kind of got back in touch through that.
I didn't like this is so beautiful.
I know. I can't
Thank
believe you didn't know I like loved you, because like I also remember like seeing you a couple times. I'm like, guys, like I love her. We loved you.
God.
Yeah. Oh no, Ed and I would like crack up about you sometimes in the car. We'd be like, she's so funny.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, I have a long history of loving you, but anyway, point is that you are now a gigantic celebrity dog groomer. I know you still do comedy, but like this has become something that I think was like your fill-in job that you were really good at.
Yeah.
That has now become a huge career for you.
Yeah.
People know who, like, I've explained, I'm like, "Do you know Jess Rona? She's a dog groomer." People are like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "She's the one who does the slow-mos of dogs getting their hair blown out." And they're like, "Yes, I know exactly who that is." So you've had huge success with your Instagram account and then gaining sort of a celebrity clientele. Like, do you want to explain how that happened?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty organic. It just happened. I was, grooming from home in my garage because I wanted to pursue comedy and all this other stuff. So I was like, I'm just going to create like a little grooming area in my garage.
Yeah.
And so I kind of got antsy and I wanted to do something creative. So I started making these videos, and then people just freaked out about them. And then they kind of went viral without me trying to push them out there.
Well, you pick great music, and all the dogs you pick are so fluffy. Like, you always pick great fluffy dogs to do them, so it's very dramatic. How did the Tegan and Sarah thing happen? Because Jess, you directed one of their videos, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I directed the video for a song called 100 Times. It's like a sad love song. And so, so my husband, Eric, he has some friends that host these, whatchamacallit? It's not murder. It's Mafia.
Okay.
The game Mafia. Have you played it?
First of all,
oh, shit.
No, the pain of my my late 20s, I was like, God, the only reason why I don't want to be 30 is because I do not want to have to go to those fucking game nights.
Party.
Like, it's just like so Hollywood and dark it's like, well, I mean, maybe your group isn't.
It gets weird. It does get intense.
What's weird is like when everyone's like, we're going to Kate Hudson's house to play Mafia. And I'm like, all right, like there's like first of all, I don't want to know famous people like that close. Like, it really bothers me. I'm like, where's the magic of Hollywood if I know this person?
Yeah.
And I'm sure Kate Hudson's great. But like whenever I hear shit like that, I'm just like, wow, that's like really, it's too famous for me, too rich for my blood. So I really like to avoid that. And also I think there's something, people either get blackout drunk or they're like sober and there's like a cheese plate. And I'm just like uncomfortable.
It's so true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
It's like so,
you described it so perfectly.
well, because when it's famous people, especially, like there's people who are really fucking nervous to be there. And so like they just start acting out and drinking really hard. And like next thing you know, you're either playing mafia with a bunch of sloppy people or like agents that are like very controlled.
It wasn't that extreme. The people that the house belonged to weren't that famous.
Okay.
They're working actors. So
Yeah.
they, you know, you would recognize them. But
Sure.
anyway, I saw Sarah from Tegan and Sarah
Okay.
at the Mafia night.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, you're Sarah. I love you. I don't geek out with anybody. Like, I don't care. I'm
Did
like,
you know she was Sarah?
Yes.
Right away?
Yes. I'm such a fan of
And
theirs.
not Tegan. I confuse them visually.
Oh, no. She introduced herself as Sarah.
okay,
Like,
okay.
I wouldn't have known.
Okay.
I was like, you are one of them. But like, I grew up in
Feel ya.
LA. You know, you see celebrities your whole life. It's not a big deal.
Totally.
But when I saw Sarah, I mean, that was my high school. That was my, 20s.
You're a guitar
Just-
player as well.
Right.
So it's like speaks directly to your
Yeah.
interests.
So she was so cool with me, like geeking out on her and just being like, I really love you.
Yeah.
And so we kind of became friends that night. And then we ended up hanging out like a week later and getting drinks and stuff. And then we just weirdly in a dream world just kind of became friends.
That's awesome.
And so, yeah. And so, like I showed her my Instagram and she shared like a screenshot of my Instagram on her Instagram and it just like blew my shit up. And
So that was like really the first big thing now. Because you have, I mean, Katy Perry blurbed your book. I mean,
Yeah.
One of the biggest pop stars in the world, which is crazy. And I know you do her dog Nugget. Is that the name?
Yeah.
But for other fans of the pod and also Natch Butte fans, because we have a pretty big crossover now, Jackie Johnson's dog Chooch, the Chooch, Wags' original girlfriend, I don't think they ever broke up. I think they just both got their private parts taken off. They dated. And Chooch is on the cover. Wags, do you remember her?
I didn't
By
know
the way,
that.
This is when
Wags
Wags was in the closet.
Wags is in, I know, 2 hours ago, I was like, Christina, do you think Wags is gay? She's like, he's asexual. I'm like, dude, he fucks pillows still. Like, he has something going on. Wags is, now, you have a special connection.
Really?
Because, Christina, have you ever seen Wags get up on the table and kiss a guest?
No way, really?
No, like he's usually
I'm
under the table
honored.
biting people.
I think he's in a good mood.
He
today,
bites
is what
people.
I'm saying,
I mean, he was being very tender this morning.
He's just like in a mood, maybe.
But no, I mean, this is unheard of. Like,
Really?
he's not
Oh my
nice to
God.
people like this.
I'm honored.
And I always think that I have a special connection with dogs. Like when there's a party and they let the dogs out, the dogs run straight for me. And I'm always like, it's me and dogs. But like literally to have the world's most
Maybe because he smells my dog.
no, that normally it goes the other way. I just think that you have a spiritual energy around dogs
Holy
that they
shit.
love you.
I'm honored.
I do have a question though. So when
Yeah.
you're grooming like difficult dogs,
Yeah.
dogs don't like to have like be touched that way, like their paws touched or anything.
Yeah,
Like how do you navigate that?
Each case is different. The main thing I try to do, and this is with people too, it's kind of like psychological, where you just kind of communicate to them that you see them and that you know that they don't like it. So if I can show them that I understand them and they're seen, then it kind of calms them a little bit. You know, like if you're in an argument with someone and like you can like be a mirror and tell them what their issue is and it kind of like calms them down. They don't have to yell so much. It's same with dogs. Like if I can communicate with them through my energy and mannerisms that I see them and I know they don't like it, sometimes it can diffuse the situation. Yeah.
Have you ever had to be like, this dog can't come back here?
Yeah. Recently.
What happened?
It was fucking crazy. It just kept
Right.
biting and attacking. And usually if they bite and attack, they can go through it and we can meet on the other side.
Right.
But this dog did not ever stop.
Did you
It
get
never
it?
went through
like,
it.
Did you get it groomed at all, or were you just like
A little bit.
You got to pick this guy up?
A little bit of both.
So, do you think when something like that happens, because like I definitely take responsibility for a fair portion of his personality disorders, which is like, you're not seeing it. This is what he does. He gaslights me, and it drives me nuts because at home he can be so mean to me. And like, there are people that know, Mike knows. I had to throw a blanket on him the other night and bring him upstairs, and Mike was like dying, and I'm like, babe, he's a monster. Like, anytime you've seen him be nice, like he's actually a monster.
The
like,
thing that blew my mind is that he straight up fakes injuries.
Yeah.
Like, he will fake that
he faked
can't,
a broken leg
walk
for 2
leg,
months.
and then he'll be fine. Like, he'll be fine.
So when he was like,
he's done that to me.
Probably 3 years old, he faked a broken leg for 2 months, and I was in the bathroom doing my makeup, and my friend Ben was like sitting on my bed in my room, and like, he's like, Molly, Wags is walking around the living room right now. And I was like, no. I was like, he's not. He's like, Molly, he's on 4 legs right now. And I was like, okay. So I like slowly like bring my face around the corner, and he sees me, and he's back on 3. And I was like, no, it's still, he's on his 3rd leg. He's like, okay, Molly, come back out. So I stick my head out, and he doesn't know I'm looking. And then he turns and he sees me, and I just see him lift his back leg up. And I was like, you've been fucking I literally thought I thought I handicapped you. And like, I was so poor at the time that I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I can't get a dog cast. Like, I mean, thankfully, anytime that anything really has happened to him, I haven't been in that financial position. But yeah, he was faking for 2 months. He faked a broken leg.
Fuck. I mean, shit. I don't know what to say about that.
So again, I take a lot of responsibility for the majority of his behavioral issues, because they're my fault. Like, it's a product of, a byproduct of my raising. And dogs want to be good. I do know that about them, is that for the most part they want to be good. But there is a part of him that I'm just like, this is just a streak that isn't within him. Like, I wouldn't call it the devil.
He's a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
That's a very common Chihuahua trait.
So that's not like, there are some things that you can't help, right? Because with the dog that you describe, I'm like, oh, their owners are like fucked.
Yeah, and they have 2 of them. And the 2 dogs gang up on the owner.
Oh.
It's a big problem. And like, the old me would have been like, okay, you need to come every 2 weeks. I need to work on this dog. You need to like just follow my lead. I'm going to tell you what to do. But now I'm so fucking busy that I can't do that anymore.
You have employees now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But you rehabilitated dogs that way into the grooming process? Has it been successful?
Yeah, I don't want to I don't know. I don't think I'm that good at rehabilitating dogs, because I don't want to spend the time anymore. Maybe in the past, yeah. I mean, I have been working on this dog named Murph that doesn't let me touch his feet.
Yeah.
And now finally, and like, I almost was brought to tears because he was over last week and he let me do his feet.
Aww.
And I was like telling his mom, and I was like, this is a huge deal. He snuggled with me.
Aww.
He was like, I just think sometimes, and it took like a year for him to get good.
Wags
about
doesn't like his feet being touched too. And I think it might be an allergy association or something. Like, they because dogs, like, when they bite their feet a lot, it's usually allergies, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder if sometimes when dogs are weird about their feet being touched in general, if they're just like, these have hurt before and I don't want you to touch them.
Yeah.
Do you think
probably.
that might be it?
Probably.
It is feet in general, though. They're weird. Wags also doesn't like his face being touched at all.
Really?
I mean,
Wags
I can, but
no.
he's also very pretty.
Yeah.
So he's like, this is my moneymaker. Like, don't touch it. So do you have 3 reasons why you're qualified to give advice?
I've had a fuck ton of therapy.
Okay, good.
Including I had therapy this morning, which is probably why my eyes are bloodshot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, thank God you cry in therapy, because there's nothing that weirds me out more than people that are like, I don't cry in therapy. I'm like, that's where you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
you should.
What are you paying for?
Yeah, exactly. Like, be vulnerable. Like, you're not. What are you there to impress her? Like, you're not trying to win
it's
therapy.
Funny that you say that, because I cried in the car after therapy.
You didn't cry in?
I started to, but it was kind of ending. And then I like bawled my eyes out like 3 times after therapy. And I was like, damn.
Like, you were just getting into it.
I have another session coming up where
Let
we
me
need
tell
to dive
you
deep.
what's up with this, because, and not to interrupt or to tell
No,
you how to
do
live your
you.
life, but especially in LA, like, getting in the car to drive to therapy can be 50 minutes. And what people don't tell you is they say it's an hour. An hour is actually 50 minutes. So they kick you out 10 minutes early. And then you have to drive home. And like, it's really hard to get work done when like you're just sort of getting there and they're like, time's up.
Yeah.
It's actually like kind of feels like its own form of abuse. And I'm just like, dude, I'm fucked up enough. Okay. Like, I can't be kicked out of here. So I don't go every week. I go once a month for 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah.
But it's once a month.
Holy shit.
But it's once a month.
That's smart. I've never heard of that.
Well, I invented it. And because I said to my therapist, like, how are we really going to get into it if I have to like fucking leave here and then drive back to Glendale thankfully now I see someone at Sunset and Gower, but like for years I was driving all the way to Beverly Hills to see someone and then get fucking tossed on the street like little orphan Annie after. And I'm like, bro, like I'm here for my abandonment issues. I can't talk, like I can't leave like that. So it is a lot. I also have an incredible rapport with my therapist. Like on on St. Patrick's Day, I texted her, "Happy St. Patrick's Day, you buckwild bitch." And she wrote back to me, "You're the only client I have that I would accept this text from." So we have like a really good relationship. So I think she also kind of does it the way that she knows works for me. But I've found that longer once a month is better than once a week and then getting tossed out on the street because of that. Like, because I don't want to get in my car and cry after, you know?
And then I had to get my nails done.
Oh, that's good. What'd you do?
I was going to say they look great.
Thank you. I go to Nail Swag.
They look really good.
She did a cute like Art Deco.
Do you mind
vibe.
if I ask how much that is?
We bartered, baby.
That's smart.
Bartered for
a
dog
photo
grooming.
for the gram.
Sure, please do. Oh yeah.
Because I always say it's more, it's here, put her book under it.
Love that.
It's financially more worthwhile to go get that $80 or $100 manicure.
I think that's
that
about
lasts
what she
4
charges.
weeks. Yeah.
Oh, this will last 4 weeks for sure.
Yeah.
I think she charges like anywhere from like 80 to 135 or something.
Depending on the art and stuff you do.
Yeah, she gets into it. She does Ariana Grande's nails.
Girl.
She's cool, man. Her
I
name's
want
Natalie.
to hear
She's
some
dope.
stories.
She's just like
about
a cool
Ariana
girl.
Grande.
Oh, she was
good.
telling me today.
Is she
Like,
rough? I mean,
no, she's
we
awesome.
won't breach confidentiality.
No. It's just good things. I don't know that
okay.
much about her.
Good
I
things.
just know
Okay.
she's awesome.
Okay, so your second piece.
Okay, so
You go to Ariana Grande's nail artist.
That's my second reason why I'm great to give advice. I'm really, really deep into like self-help shit, self-help books, podcasts, audiobooks. Like I'm deep
What
into
do you
it.
like, Marianne Robinson? Like, what's your beat?
You mean Williamson?
Williamson.
Oh,
Who's
okay.
Robinson?
I don't know, but I was
Marianne
like, oh, who is
Williamson.
that?
Yeah.
Marianne Williamson. Fuck yeah, she's awesome.
Great.
I love Jensen Jarrow. I talked about her a little bit on the Natch Butte podcast.
Okay.
She wrote the book You Are a Badass and You Are a Badass at Making Money, but it's all that same same shit that's like The Secret, like water seeks its own level and what you attract and all that stuff and how you think and that sort of thing, which I'm really deep into.
Yeah.
The third reason is I'm in my late 30s and I've lived some shit and I have a lot of empathy.
It's so weird. Are you older than me?
Yeah.
I always think of you as like,
25.
yeah.
Okay, let's just say that I'm 20.
I always think
Let's
of
say
you
I'm
as so.
29.
I mean, in my mind, you're like crystallized at age 26. I think,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we do phone calls here. We have letters. Christina says we're a little bit light this week, which you guys, let's talk about that. 323-450-7408. Call us with your problems, or even, you know what? Just call me to say why you don't have any problems that you're calling about, because I would like to learn more about that lifestyle. Let's take a phone call.
Hey, Miles, Christina, and guest. So my question, sounds kind of nefarious, but it's with good intentions. So I'm really bad at lying. And, bad at, white lies, too. Like, if someone, I don't know, asks me if I like something and it's something I don't really care about, but I don't want to hurt their feelings, and I'm just I don't know. But because I'm bad at lying, I'm also bad at telling people, telling when other people are lying, and I want to be better at that because I feel like I need to up my street smarts game. But I don't really know how to do that. And, I can tell when people are, shady bitches, but it's harder for me to pick out, white lies or, if I know someone has lied in the past, then I can, figure out their pattern of lying, but I can't tell if, there's a new person. I can't tell if they're, a good person or a person who, should be trusted. I think I might be a little over-trusting. I'm either too trusting or I think everyone's, evil and out to get me, but not in a paranoid way, even though that sounds pretty paranoid. So, Malls, I know you said before you're really bad at lying. I was wondering if you've ever felt the need to, like, up your game, or if you're bad at lying but good at telling when other people are lying, or, yeah. So, how do I get better at telling when people are being shady? Please advise. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so this is like what I cry about in therapy, is that I can't tell when people are lying to me, or I think I can't, or like I just wind up feeling like duped a lot, and I'm just like, why did you trust that person? And this is what I will tell you, is that anytime I've wound up being upset like that because someone lied to me or tricked me or deceived, did whatever, I knew deep down that they were a shady bitch, or that I couldn't trust them, and then part of me wanted to believe them. It's a desire. It's wanting to believe people too. I think is a big part of the problem. Is you want to give someone the benefit of the doubt. You want to believe that someone you care about is incapable of lying to you. I mean, the closest I've gotten to getting any better at lying is I lie on vacation. Like, I practice lying on vacation. Like, I just lie about anything, like what I do for a living or why I'm there or whatever. Like, I just lie. But but it's only on vacation when there's no consequences and the person probably knows I'm lying. What about you?
I feel like she said that she was being paranoid in her
She said
message.
she's afraid she might be being
She
paranoid.
is.
Yeah.
She's being paranoid.
No, people lie.
People lie, but I just think it takes life experience of either being lied to and then getting smart about it, or just growing up and maturing enough so that you don't attract people that are douches and liars.
Yeah.
I just feel like...
But anyone could lie. Like, people in your career lie to you.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
But if you're like walking around through life wondering who's lying, who's real, and how do I lie and be nice about it? If someone is like, "Do you like my hair?" and you don't, and you're like, "I need to lie."
Oh no, I didn't get that from her. I think that this girl has been screwed over a bunch. I don't think maybe she's being a little bit dramatic in the way that she's asking this. But I totally got that this girl has just like fallen for the wrong thing like a few too many
bunch of times.
Was there something specific besides the paranoia thing that you were picking up on that led you down this path of thinking, Jess?
Yeah, I mean, I just felt like she didn't have a ton of experience in life to be able to read a person. I think she said she had a lot of trouble with that, but I think that just comes with living life. I don't know how old she was, and I don't know if I'm being an asshole.
No, you're not. I just like
The bar is very high for that.
just like
Okay.
no, no, please. If I get that all the time. I was like, you're so mean. It's like, then I don't know. Why'd you call the show?
You need to hear what you want to hear.
But I mean, I don't know. I actually like, I don't know. I'm 34 and I found this to be kind of relatable. I mean, I really am like, I can be very clueless like about someone's intentions. I always assume that people are going into something because I don't know what it's like to be a bad person. Sorry, I don't know what it's like. So I've never been able to like see someone being a bad person and be like, oh, that's just inherently who they are. You should expect that they disappoint you. You should expect that they lie to you. Like, I've actually worked very hard to not become cynical at the same time.
Yeah.
Same.
You know,
Same
because
here.
cynicism is really dark to me. So I think that for me, it's always just come back to whenever I've been surprised someone lied to me, I'm like, your gut told you that something was off and you didn't listen.
I think that's a good point. Listen to your gut.
Yeah. Whatever part of it's telling you, shady bitches.
Yeah, there's a lot of times that we're not in tune with what our bodies are telling us. And, we are hoping for the best, even though something's like screaming inside of us. And you just need to listen to your own self, your own inside voice a little bit and be more attuned to your body.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
What about someone who like turns on you? Like if you have
Cut
like
him
a
out.
coworker or
Bye.
something.
Here's the thing.
Like you can set boundaries.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
just,
I'd be like, set some boundaries. That's the thing that you and I, like, I have too many boundaries and you have no boundaries.
Yeah, I know. You're like,
that's so important.
You're so hard. You're so rough. You're so rough. But, no, it's also about what you tell people too.
Yeah. And it's also just like, this is a lesson for you, like, the cost of being vulnerable and letting people in is that you're going to have bad stuff too, but the good is so much more worth it that
agree 100%.
That's what I like have learned in the last like 2 years since turning 30 and being more
So what about
open.
when you're like a moron like me and you're the exact opposite where you're there's
like,
some bad people out there. Like you have to see the bad in people sometimes.
I think you would benefit from being like, "Ooh, what would Christina think of this person?"
But I think you're too mean. I think you're too...
But, like, find somewhere in the middle is what I'm saying.
Christina looks up people on sex offender registries before she goes out on dates with them.
Really?
Yes. Like, can you believe...
Why wouldn't you do that?
I mean, yeah, I honestly, I wouldn't think to do that.
And then it's like...
I would never think to do that.
And then it's like, you dated this person? Yeah, you didn't know he was a sex offender? That information is publicly available. Why not use it to your best?
Yeah, that's smart. That seems smart. Like, you're protecting
yourself. I'm trying not to die in these streets,
sure.
you guys.
Sure.
I mean, that is wild to me. I wouldn't literally...
I've never done that, but like, fuck, I probably would.
You know what is scary though is when you go to the sex offender registry and you look up your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And that
really?
makes... don't worry, I don't have one for a mile and a half, which is actually really nice.
I have never looked it up. I'm going to look it up today.
Do you live close to a school?
Probably.
Well, that's a big determiner of like how close
Not
one lives.
I remember when I was living in Koreatown, I did it, and it was
Lights
someone
up
in
like
my
a
building.
tree, right?
Ew.
It was someone in my building, and I had seen him before.
Yep.
Like,
by the way, doesn't he have to tell you?
I think they have to tell you when they move in, but not when like he's already living there.
By the way, like, sex offenders deserve 0 breaks, but that is probably the worst part of the punishment besides, surviving prison.
Well, you have to just be like, hey, I'm Tom. I live over in 3C. I'm a sex offender. I'll talk to you later.
But there's also like the varying degrees to which people get on that site. Like, I think someone said once, I heard a case once where like someone was peeing in public. And then he got caught by police and had to be registered.
That's a sex offender?
Yes, my best friend in public
public
exposure. So my best friend from high school, Jen, went to school down south, and she, goes like shit-faced and outside of a bar, and she peed in an alley.
As every college kid will do at one
Who
point.
has not popped a squat? We've all popped a squat.
Done it.
Christina's very conservative and is from Brooklyn. Much busier streets there. But like,
the streets in New York are very busy. You can't really
be unless you've really got to be missing out. You have to be less of a home in order to do that. But
I also have issues with that. I just need to be in a like safe space to go to the bathroom.
No one was saying take a shit. But I'm just saying, like, we've all popped a squat when we're drunk. And so Jen got arrested. And, like, I remember her saying to me, like, basically implying that if she was convicted of this, this could be a big problem for her. But she didn't. Now that I look back, she was trying to say to me, like, I could be on the sex offender registry.
That's nuts.
Because you're to public exposure.
I have problems peeing, like, with other people in public restrooms.
Yeah. I did when I was a kid. Yeah.
Really?
I did when I was
I have toilet anxiety.
I'm pee shy.
If there's someone in, like, because I work in my office, there's, like, a 3-stall bathroom. If I walk in there and somene's in there, I'll walk out and wait till it's
because it's too quiet.
Well, so then everyone thinks you have to take the gnarliest shit every time you go to the bathroom, right?
No, they are all well aware of my pee anxiety.
Okay.
Like, they know not to go to the bathroom if they know that I'm going to the bathroom.
I'm really pee shy, and like I hate it when I go in with like a friend or whatever, especially if it's like a new work friend or
someone
something,
like talking to me while
and they're just like, "I'll wait for you," and I'm like, "No, don't wait." Like, but I remember the first time I met my dad's father. Like, I went out to dinner with like my new grandpa, and like I was probably 5 or 6 or something, and so it was my first time like really like going to the bathroom by myself. I was like, Mom, I'll be right back. And I remember there was all these women in there. It was like a steak restaurant during a lunch hour, so like there was all these women coming in and out, and I just remember like I couldn't pee, and I had to pee so bad, but I couldn't pee because I was so afraid other people would hear me pee.
I don't have a problem if it's a busy situation like that, like an airport bathroom where everyone's shuffling and there's noise and stuff like that.
It's not scary at all.
It's not scary at all. But if it's like there's one other person and they choose to stall next to you and it's just kind of like you're silently peeing, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think about it too much, I think.
No, I totally get it. Sometimes I'll just tell myself, like, we all pee. I'm anonymous right now to this person next to me.
Right.
They'll never see me again. They
I
don't
have
know
to
what my
like
face
cover
looks
my
like.
ears.
Yeah, I used to be like that. I still have a little like toilet anxiety too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't love to be
I've
in
done
a public
that.
toilet.
I've covered my ears. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love to be in a public toilet. Although I will say
so
that
I can't pop a squat. I'm sorry, Molly.
No, you're fine. Oh no, by the way, like no, I don't love people that pop a squat. I have a big issue with squat popping. Like in a no, I mean in a toilet. Like if you don't use the cover and sit, you're dead to me. Like people who just piss all over the seat. I'm like, you're a monster. That's actually the type of person our callers should be looking out for. Is the type of person who's so fucking selfish that they'll piss all over a public toilet seat and then not wipe anything up or just like leave it a mess. I mean, like, think about it. If I snuck into many a men's room in my life, their toilets are always clean. That's because guys use them exclusively for shitting. So if we could just take better care of each other, women are the real bathroom monsters. Like,
so true.
Never pretending it's men. No, women are the real perpetrators of this. And we have so much more to deal with in there. We've got our periods. We've got everything else. Wipe the seat. Don't be an asshole. This is my hairdresser. By the way, speaking of assholes, I love her so much. She's I bet you anything she's texting me right now to see if I'm coming in later. Oh no, he just wrote. Good luck, my pretty lady. But by next week, you will need color. All the best. Okay, all right. I get it. You're manipulating me.
Or protecting you against roots.
But lying, yes. She also has, she wanted to up her street smarts, she said. That takes a whole different... That's not, like
she's
knowing people when they're lying is different than being street smart. I think street smarts are like how to avoid a stalker. You know what I mean? Like...
She wants
like
to be
if
more
someone's
socially...
following you home from the
That's
train
what
or
I'm
something
saying.
like that.
Yeah. Like street smart is like knowing that you can vacuum water out of your car with a shop vac to me. Like stuff like that's also street smart. Yeah.
Okay.
Like stuff like that is also I'm like, okay, like you get it. Like you get how to maneuver about the world. It's more than just like don't take any wooden nickels, but that's on there too, you know, like
she just seemed very like young and she just wants to be more socially savvy and like cooler and just like more connected and like can see a person for who they are. But like, that's what everybody wants.
True.
And it's just something you just have to work on and practice, I guess.
And you could have like the best bullshit meter and still get deceived by people because you ultimately want to hope for the best in someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty trusting.
I am too.
I don't know. I'm pretty trusting, but I only trust you after I've let you in and it takes a while to be let in.
Yeah. Or I trust people until they give me a reason not to.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, my goal is to trust as many people as possible. My dog is looking at me in the eyes. He's so cute.
So nice.
I love you,
He's
Wags.
having a really
You're
nice
good
moment.
Boy. Sometimes he crawls my face during the pod.
Cute.
But yeah, you know, one thing I would recommend to you that will offer you a lot of independence and put you in a lot of situations where you need to impress yourself by proving that you can do it, is take a trip by yourself. You know, I'm going to Japan by myself.
Shut up.
For 10 days, and I'll tell you, I've worked up to that. Like, I've worked up to Japan by myself.
Yes,
But
that is huge.
I did Europe by myself.
I'm planning a trip by myself, too.
Yeah.
I need to pick your brain about it.
Yeah, I remember you asked me about that. You wanted to, well, you were like, where would you go if you want to go by yourself? I was like, that's all I do, is I go on vacation
When did
alone.
we talk about that?
You texted me one time.
I did?
And I was like, I love to do Palm Springs. You're like, what about Ojai? And I was like, I've never been there alone, but I'm sure it's great.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, I remember
now
you
I
asked
really
me that.
want to go like to Barcelona or somewhere.
People who ask me about that, I don't forget them because, first of all, that's a very rare conclusion to come to on your own. But I'll tell you this. I remember growing up, and there was this picture of my grandmother and my great aunt on this like horse-drawn carriage in Ireland, and they were, you know, in their 40s when they did it. And I remember my grandmother showing me that picture and being like, this was a big deal. Like 2 women went alone to Europe, like, and we did the whole thing ourselves. And I was like, wow, like when I was a kid, I didn't really appreciate that. But then to look back on that and say like, wow, even just traveling with a girlfriend was a big deal back in the day, or your sister was a big deal back in the day. So to think that like I can go around the world by myself, it's a very satisfying feeling to know that I can do that. And I'm not going to lie, I'm terrified.
Dude, yeah.
I'm terrified
I'm like
of food.
so impressed by you.
I'm terrified of I won't be able to read the language.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear is just not knowing where to go or how to get around and not reading, you know.
I mean, thankfully,
Japanese.
English is incredibly prevalent. I don't know in South America if it's the same. But I mean, most people around the world, or most people you can find, I'm not going to like a super remote village. I'm going to Kyoto was like ultimately where I'm going. I'm going to see the cherry blossoms like in April.
Yeah.
So like I feel like that's a very Americanized time to go. It's like October and April are like the big times to go.
Okay.
So
That's awesome.
I'm slightly dry. I haven't planned anything yet. I have my ticket, but I haven't booked my hotel. What my hotel's and I've seen a lot of people I know go, and everyone I know has brought a partner. I don't know if you know Dre, but she went with her boyfriend this year, and like they had the Japanese adventure I would want to have, but I don't know if I can do all the I'm a little bit nervous about all the trains and the amount of preparation, and I've also kind of put it off. But I will say to you that traveling alone, going on road trips alone, all of those things, you run into stuff and you just have to figure it out, and you have to learn how to do it. And, you know, whether it's I had my phone break on a drive out to Las Vegas recently. That was like hell. Yeah. But I figured it out, and then my phone started working again in the morning. So that was great. But yeah, things happen. You'll learn. Do you want to take another call?
Yeah.
You ready? Okay. Sorry. Girl, just be good. All right.
Hi, Malls. I just went on a really good first date, which is cool. It's a cool feeling. But a little background about me. My last serious relationship, I like lived with the person and ended up having my heart like pretty broken. So dating feels like this big departure, like this big excursion into like a whole bunch of new vulnerabilities, or like old vulnerabilities that feel new again. And I guess I was wondering if you have any advice for a person who feels like overall pretty like confident and fortified in the other parts of her life. You know, like professionally, I feel completely in the zone. And person to person, like thinking about the weather or whatever, you know, I know exactly who I am and have this, you know, strong sense of self. And when it comes to dating or like, you know, getting ready to go on this date tonight, I just felt so nervous, like a teen. And like there's all this insecurity that comes bubbling up when you're trying to like be vulnerable with a stranger with like the sincere pursuit of just like hoping to like find some common ground. So I guess I was just wondering if you had any words of wisdom for somebody who's like doing their best not to be like shook by past experiences. Please advise.
Bitch, speak the fuck up. That was so annoying. Like literally, like I actually thought you were saying that you had a first date and you got your period. That's what I thought you were saying, because I don't like leaning forward. I have a bad back. Okay, when I have to lean forward,
she was
that
leaning
far,
so forward.
Honestly, I'm gonna send you a bill because that hurt. You need to buy me some Chinese herbs.
Sorry, I play the calls out loud. They're not listening on headphones. They don't understand why you're leaning in.
I don't care if they understand or not understand. Point is that I had to bend over to hear your call, and that's not normal. So if I'm doing something different for you, listen, Jess, if you want to say something, go now, because I'm really good at, I gotta lean in here, so I'll let you go first.
Okay. I mean, I don't honestly know what she needs advice on. She feels great about this new first date that she went on.
Sad. It was sad. No, I mean, I'm glad that she went on a date, but like, she's like,
I'm so like, why am I feeling butterfly nervous when I'm going on a first date, even though I know myself so well? Why do I don't even know what her question was.
Okay,
is that what her question was?
So like, basically, like she feels very fulfilled in her career and all
she
other
really
areas
knows
of her
herself
life,
very
except
well.
for her speech. And then
we're never gonna
don't make a call when you're half asleep.
We will. I know
after
that
shooting some heroin. Don't make a call and ask for advice.
Yeah, please advise. Go to rehab and then come back. No, but listen, and by the way, I know that for this call, because we are addressing this like this, we're going to get 10 more calls because I know someone out there needs to. No, she'll be fine. Listen, this is what it is that, and by the way, we're just roasting the way that you did your whole thing. I will tell you exactly what your problem is. You are not going on enough dates. You are applying far too much meaning to one good date. The thing that you have to do when you are dating and trying to move past a bad relationship or anything else is you don't need to go and be vulnerable on a first date. A first date is like a casual business lunch. Yeah. It's like, let's go get drinks.
See if
what do you
you're
do?
cool.
Yeah. There's no pressure on it. I understand being nervous if you really like someone, but the best way to diffuse nervousness is to get so in the habit of it. I'm not saying go fuck every guy. I'm just saying go. There are plenty of guys I've gone on dates with, and within 10 minutes, I knew I'd never see them again. But I sat there and I finished my drink and I maybe even had another. Do you want to know why? Because I was on my time and I wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
So just go out with a bunch of guys. Like, go and have extra dates set up. And if you're the type of person who's like, oh, I don't online date and I don't do this, well, then guess what? It's going to be a lot harder for you.
And also, like, you have to embrace the nerves. And that's the fun of new relationships.
Yes.
And if you can't.
Oh, like, and you're not in a, to be clear, you're not in a relationship. You went on one good date. So calm down.
But what was her advice? What was she asking for?
She was just saying, like, how do you go do these things when all of the rest of your life is fine? How do you
be vulnerable
how
in
do
this
you go
situation?
And be vulnerable but not get hurt?
You can't.
You just don't be vulnerable. And then
you will never reap the benefits of the vulnerability.
But you have to wait till you are on, till that person deserves your vulnerability.
No, and I also think you're right. The nervousness that she feels, she's saying that she feels very uncomfortable going on dates in general.
Then do it a lot. Or
just
leave space for the nerves and that feeling inside. Don't try to push it away when it comes up. Just like let it flow through you and just be nervous. Have a cocktail, it's social lubrication.
And I also think that I don't know how old you are, but I will say that if you're feeling very satisfied in your career and stuff like that, I assume that you are probably above 25. And I will tell you that if at, 27, 28, if you're still feeling like crazy butterflies about going on a date with someone, you need to date a lot more. You're a little bit behind.
She was definitely, she's kind of pushing 40, that woman. And also don't talk like that on your dates.
No, I know. Like, honestly, like, speak the fuck up. Like, how many times is he like, what? Like, I would be on a date with it. This would drive me nuts.
I would be.
That would be a deal breaker for me. But I'm
our really first caller.
It drives me nuts.
I just want to know that
it drives me
I hope the first
nuts.
caller and the second caller never hang out because she wouldn't have such a problem lying to the second girl. She would be like, bitch, you need to speak up. Like,
I know.
Like, she
She'd
couldn't
be like
do
me.
it. She couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I will I'll be honest
really
with you and say that I just think that you really need to kind of get ahead of this because it sounds like, I have certain friends that like, I do feel that they date like teenagers. And I'm like, you just have not dated enough. You simply have not gone on enough dates. And you can be crazy and worry about stuff like this.
It becomes a lot bigger in your head than it actually is.
100%. It has legs that don't exist. And it's like, why is your mind walking like that? It doesn't have legs. Like, you need to literally go out on so many more fucking dates. I'm telling you. Tinder has been such a huge thing for me since I had my first big breakup my last big breakup. It's been huge because I've met so many interesting guys. I know exactly what I don't want anymore. And now I'm in a place where I think I can more meet guys in real life because I'm in just a lot of a better place with dating. Like, it's just a much better thing. And also set up what I like to do, and this can sound to certain people if you assume that, I am a big person I don't even kiss on a first date, and I'm big on that.
Really?
And
even if you're vibing? If
I'm crazy about the guy, maybe, but normally I find that that's manic and it goes too fast.
Okay.
I really am a big believer in the third date rule is bullshit. I will make a guy wait 6 dates before I go back to his house, and that doesn't even mean we're having sex.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just a big believer in that because it forces someone to take you seriously, and I haven't always been that way, but I haven't reaped the results I've wanted, or necessarily maintain the respect. And that's not to say that this is the woman's job. I think this is a man and a woman's job to like take things slowly and to, if you really are in a place in your life where you want to find a relationship that's meaningful, take things slowly. If you're not, then why are y'all butterflied out over this random? You just don't go on enough dates.
Yeah.
That's it. And dates are really fucking fun. And it's a great way, like per what I told this first girl, like it's a great way to go into something and be a nobody to someone. They don't know anything about you. You can come in there with your own narrative, your own self-esteem. Obviously, you don't lie, but like they don't know the things about you that your friends know about you. You can be a new person. You don't have to carry that self-esteem that you have with a certain group of people or a certain type of person. You don't have to carry that into that because they don't know you like that. And that's a nice thing in my world. Do we have any other?
Well,
just speak up.
You're married, right, Jess?
Yeah.
Do you remember what your first date was like with your husband?
We didn't wait. Like I mean, I don't think we had sex right away, but I had known him for 2 years.
Yeah.
So like he wasn't a stranger. We were in the friend zone for like 2 years and then I fell in love with the bastard.
How did that grow romantically for you guys?
He started treating me like shit and then I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like he was like available for so long and then he became completely unavailable. And I was like, well, you're just like every other guy.
Was there a reason for that?
Yeah, he didn't want to be just friends.
Oh.
Which I didn't realize that he really had feelings for me. I didn't know. I just thought he was like my buddy.
Yeah.
And like I remember going out of town with some other friends and I had this fling with this guy while I was out of town. And I started missing Eric. And I was like, damn, why do I miss him? And I think it's just because he wasn't returning my calls or texts.
Yeah.
He was just like unavailable.
Yeah.
And I was mad at him and I was like, he's just like every other guy. Like he's not there. Or you think he's there and then he's not or whatever. And then I just started to have feelings for him. So
yeah, that's great too. And I think that's a good like growth thing too, which is why, again, I always say, if you get manic early on, or if like you guys are like just too fast, too soon or whatever, it's always a sign that there's something deeply unhealthy there, whether you're a codependent and a narcissist or whether, whatever that dynamic is.
That is my dynamic though. When I date somebody, I get crazy manic
you
quick.
Used to, but
yeah.
I don't think. But you and Eric
remember how in love with those guys I would get?
Yes, but those didn't work out.
No, Malls knows. Like I would just fall hard for these unavailable comedy guys.
Hard and fast.
Hard and fast.
Oh yeah,
I don't think I understood the extent of it till like we talked like years later, and you were like, "Do you remember how in love I was?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I kind of do."
I was like desperately in love with two of the guys.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that lived in this dirty,
fucking
nasty
pit,
house.
which, by the way, is so hard to think of. Like, it's so hard to look back.
I can't.
I know, and of course, Eric got all skinny again once we weren't dating anymore. I'm like, you look so good. What the fuck? I like loved you when I was 21. That's when I first met him, and then we dated when I was 23 to 26 or something. He was like very depressed and overweight. He knows that. And now he looks great. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, dude,
I haven't seen him in forever.
You look amazing. Yeah, he looks great. But anyway, proud of all these guys, proud of the guys that I've dated that I've literally emotionally burnt to the ground. And I'm thankful for the ones that burnt me to the ground because it's been really like nice getting back to myself. And I finally feel like I'm in a place where I can be in a relationship again and not secretly be super fucking angry, which I was like in my last two relationships. I was super fucking angry the whole time.
That's
and like
great.
Kind of taking it out on them. And like it was very selfish of me actually to be dating when I was that
angry,
but also, yeah, like whatever the emotion that I'm feeling come out of this girl, just it doesn't seem like she's ready to date in my mind.
It seems like something's checked out. If she thinks it's okay to talk that slow and that stumbly, there's some kind of disconnect, I think.
I mean,
but that's not what she wants advice
do
on.
Call under the sheets, like because their roommate or whatever is there. Which, by the way, if you have a roommate
and you're 40,
yeah,
that's another thing.
We've put 40 on her. I'm gonna get a text or a tweet like next week.
I'm almost 40, so
no.
So like no hate on the 40-year-olds.
No, I would love to be 40. I've only loved life more the older I get.
Yeah,
but
yes.
Rough. It's rough. That was rough, girl. Okay. Well, good luck to you. Let us know if you take our advice and start going out on more dates. And
people also call us drunk. or under the influence of other substances.
Like when you're doing your podcast?
Yeah, like people
they'll
are
leave
drunk.
voicemails. And
Oh.
Because they need to like have a
Get
little
up the courage.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
that's
might be a little
sweet.
shit-faced on some Tito's and soda, which for
That's
that I
fine.
say we've all been there. But
No judgment here on that one.
what else? Oh shit, what was I gonna say? Oh, I don't know. I was gonna say something, but you'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right, let's take another call.
Hey, Malls. Love you. I just saw your Insta about needing calls and figured I'd ask for some advice. Basically, I'm 31, married, no kids. I live in Baltimore and have been self-employed for almost 6 years. I do graphic and web design and some technical blogging and B2B social media. Recently, my biggest client hired someone with a design background to be a marketing manager. She had said she wanted to get out of design and learn more about marketing, but since she started back in August, she's just been designing more and more, and recently hired a design intern who will be graduating in May. This client is over 50% of my income, and I've been freelancing with them for 10 years, and until recently, truly felt like a part of their team. I'm pretty close with the VP of marketing. I watch her cat and stuff, and she lives down the block from me. I'm wondering if I should initiate a candid conversation with either the VP or marketing manager about how they see my role in the future with the company. Honestly, I'm a bit upset that the VP hasn't come forward and said anything to me about the drastic cut in workload, but I also understand that business is business, so just wondering if I should initiate a conversation, and if so, what exactly should I say? If not, I'm debating just applying for jobs, but it's been 6 years and I can't imagine having to go into an office every day. I wouldn't mind a work from home opportunity, but I feel like they're few and far between. All of my other clients are really small and honestly just annoying to work with. Like I have to go to get a flash drive of images because they don't know how to email. So without the big client, I'm not really sure I'd want to be self-employed anymore. So yeah, please advise. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, can we just like rehash what she said? Because I know that we were all a little bit confused and it seems like you have a good grip on things.
Yeah, so essentially she's a freelance graphic designer. She gets most of her business from this one client. And in the last couple months, they've hired another graphic designer. And so like most of her workload has been chipped away and taken on by this new graphic designer.
Okay, let's stop here. That seems like a big sign to me that that your services are not as needed as they, maybe, I don't know if they're displeased with your work, but if you are already the employee that does that work and now they are taking that work from you and giving it to someone else, they're probably not going to need you in the very near future. And so I would say anytime in work that you are unclear on your performance or if you're giving them what they need or where things are going in the future, you should absolutely say something. That shouldn't even be a question. You should have already done that.
Especially if you're self-employed.
Yes.
And also, if you can think about that there's an abundance of clients, you can just get more clients. You can go hustle and get more work.
Yeah. And the part
so that was
of
the
her,
second part of like, is she going to hustle to get more work? Or she kind of just is wondering if she should go back into the regular work field.
But she didn't want to, right?
Yeah, she's got to pick a lane because you can't not want to be self-employed and also not want to be someone's employee. And like, yes, there's a chance you can get another job that has you work from home. Thankfully, a lot of these things are done remotely and it's more financially better for both the client and you. So I would really figure out, do you want to be in this line of work? Because you're either going to want to be self-employed. It's like being a freelance writer. It's like if you don't want to do that, if you want to go get an office job or something else, then go do that. That will take away your ability to have to you won't have to hustle as hard. But you can't say, I don't know how I would integrate back into an office ever again. And I also don't want to go looking for clients because whether you like it or not, this other job is pulling back on you. And I'm sure that if that's not affecting your salary now, it will very soon.
Yeah, she sounds pretty passive about it.
Yeah.
She would benefit from a solo trip, but she probably doesn't have a ton of money. So maybe like drive and take a weekend somewhere local.
Yeah.
And just
or
be by yourself. And
fucking lock yourself in your room with Craigslist, dude, and just start emailing people or like.
But she just seems like she doesn't really know what she wants. Like, is she happy in this line of work? She seemed kind of like whatever about it.
I mean, the thing that drives me nuts about this is that, like, yes, these jobs are a dime a dozen to an extent, but it's also a dream job for a lot of people. And there are a lot of young and hungry people who will come up underneath you and happily take that job.
Very true.
They probably have parents who are supplementing their rent or whatever else. Like there are plenty of people who will do your job for cheap or free. So you need to like either get some fire under your ass and start really aggressively looking for work, or you need to figure out another part-time hustle. I don't know. Like I always like, I'm kind of joking when I say this, but not like, what do you really want to do? Do you want to start an Etsy store? Like I know this girl that like has a full-time job and she just started she just started drawing her own wrapping paper. I'm holding a piece of it right now.
I love it.
Started drawing her own wrapping paper and selling it on Etsy. And like that girl brought herself through the holiday season. She did very, very well. And she got them to the exact right people to post about them. And I really am a believer in side hustles and getting something else going. And the more you can link your side hustle up to a passion, I mean, look what Jess has done. Like you really wanted to focus just on comedy. You wound up getting like a job starting out grooming, and this was turned into your life. Like I'm holding her book right now. That's something that you can do. Marissa A. Ross is another really good example of a person who had a passion for wine. She started wine writing, and then now she has a book about it. Jackie Johnson, another person, always loved makeup and hair. Jackie was just my friend that did eyelash extensions and always like did her own hair dye at home. Like she was one of those people that just kind of started out having a natural knack for it and passion, and now it's her job. So you can do it, you guys.
I think millionaires have at least 7 streams of income. I think I heard that. Like, you should have, like, maybe she should develop a side hustle. That'd be cool.
I'm telling you, I host 3 podcasts and I produce 4 and I'm a writer. So you gotta have shit, okay? You must have shit. It's
and also by
important.
like trying those side hustles, you might find something that you're really, really passionate about.
Yeah.
You might not have expected.
I agree with you. I mean, I don't really have much else to say about this except like kind of like why I'm a little like disturbed that you're not advocating for yourself more. I just feel like you should know to do this, and like no one else is going to make your dreams happen. That's just the truth, is that literally no one cares about your dream except for you. Maybe your mom cares, but like she's not going to go get you a job. You have to be your number one advocate in life. Just because, you know, I've seen Ed, for example, like Ed really was trying to get staffed as a comedy writer for a long time, and he wound up taking another job, like kind of he really wanted it, but like it wasn't exactly what he thought he wanted to do with his life, which is working in reality TV development. Is there a better fucking job for Ed Hansen than reality television development? No. Like, this is what he should have always been doing. He is a natural Andy Cohen type, and he also has that personality that, like, people want to see him and they want to talk to him. And I could see that continuing to extend into more of a career for him, similar to an Andy Cohen type. But I really I think that a lot of times the thing that you try first or the thing that you think you want is not necessarily what you want. And it sounds like if you're being that passive about this, you're over it. Part of you is over it. What do you really want, man?
Yeah.
You know?
And, you know, if this was something that you majored in and you went to school in, it can be very hard to, like, let that go. To, like, let go of, like, oh, this is what I studied. This is what I'm supposed to be doing for the rest of my life. It can be really hard to let that go. But just know that, like, you're a completely different person than the one that you were when you originally chose that path at, like, 18, 19 years old. So, and also, like, the nature of your work has changed significantly.
Yeah, and just because you have this skill doesn't mean that has to be your career just because that's what your skill is. You can choose something else and just learn something new.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Absolutely. All right. Do we have any more calls?
We have a letter.
Okay, let's do the letter.
Hello, Molly, Christina, and guests. I wanted to write and ask about a little internal conflict I'm having. I'm 24 years old and I've never went on a date. There are many, many reasons why this is. But one of the biggest problems is my lack of trust in other people. I've read so many articles and statistics and listened to so many podcasts, advice columns. I have practically developed a fear of getting cheated on. Hell, one of the articles I read not too long ago featured, quote, why men cheat from real men. And a lot of reasons were so shallow and immature, like it was easy or I can't help myself. Also, people nowadays expect you to forgive them, which I find nuts. Am I the one who's nuts? Yes. Or how can I get over this fear? Anyway, hopefully Hopefully that was too long. Please advise. Maybe she's meant hopefully that wasn't too long. Please advise.
I mean,
we have a theme.
Yeah.
In this episode.
Which is
lack of trust in dating.
Oh, okay. I was like, get your shit together. Basically. I mean, look, here's my thing is that and this is not my thing, this is the world's thing, is that like you can't be afraid of living shit hitting the fan. Exactly. Yeah. Like it's like, yes, life is going to happen. You're going to hit speed bumps. Some men are cheaters. I honestly, in general, just to throw it out there for you, I actually think it's quite easy not to cheat. You just don't cheat. And then if you want to be with someone else, you break up with that person. And or you enter into a situation where you understand that might be a situation that happens and you're both okay with it, which sounds like a lot to ask of you right now, which is fine. Maybe you'll get there someday. But like sitting at home out of fear is really sad. Like it really makes me sad on your behalf. And I understand fear or whatever. I think that maybe you have parents that were in a shitty relationship.
Yeah, this sounds like a trauma.
Like a lot of no role models.
And like sitting and reading all these articles about cheating guys and just being afraid. But you have to just, like if you constantly worrying is praying for something that you don't want. If you constantly worry, I wish I wrote that, but I didn't. But like if you're constantly worrying about someone cheating or someone doing something, or you're focused on the thing you don't want, you will manifest it and you will create a relationship where you will be cheated on, especially if you're walking around paranoid if you actually meet someone that you like.
Yes, absolutely. That's also that's the thing that drives someone away too. It's just like, God, this chick's so insecure. This is like, she's a mess. Like she doesn't trust me. It's so important to have a basic level of trust going. I mean, dude, I don't know. Like, also fake news. Like, I feel like a lot of that stuff that you're reading is just put out there to
freak you out.
Yeah, or to placate someone that's trying to justify why they've been cheated on. Like, that's not the whole world.
I also think it was like a poorly written article. If the answers are only like, it was easy. I can't help myself.
And sounds like she read like one of those pages in Cosmo that's like, why do men cheat? And like that's the headline.
Andy, 22.
Yeah.
It was easy.
I'm like, Andy's an intern and he was told to say that.
It's to scare you.
Yeah.
There are so many great guys out there.
Or for someone who's been hurt to be able to justify like, oh, well, Andy who's 22 says it was easy, so that's why I got cheated on.
But it's also just like we talked about earlier in this episode, the way you get rid of any fear is exposure therapy. And so you just kind of have to do it.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
And I understand how hard that is.
And I would also not lead with that or bring that up in any way when you start seeing someone, because people who are chronically afraid and insecure are incredibly unattractive. And I mean that I wouldn't be your friend. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I don't think a guy wants to date someone that's like, I've been sitting at home paralyzed for the last 23 years. Like, what happened to college? Like, where were you doing? That's like a really fun time to hang out with dudes. Did you go to college? I don't know.
She's 24, so she's still pretty young.
She would be post-collegiate, though. I'm saying, like, where were you all those years? Like,
maybe there's some social anxiety too that's not, she's not addressing. Or
I think that's right on the nose right there, because I think that this is about more than just you're afraid a guy is going to cheat on you or let you down or something like that. Exactly what you said. I think there's a trauma or something there that, I know it definitely has affected me to be like, like, I don't know if I want to get married, because also I don't know many married people that are very happy. I really don't. I mean, you and Eric are great, but like,
I'm miserable.
For the most, you're miserable.
Can we just talk about it?
He hits you. No, sorry, that's not a joke. But like there are people that I just I don't know that, because I didn't really have any role models in my life of great married couples. I do worry about something like marriage, of course, because I'm like, I don't know if I would know how to do that. Like, your parents are probably the closest I have to a relationship role model when it comes to people.
I have a ridiculously...
They're so ideal. Like, it's insanely ideal.
To the point where I'm like, I don't know if I should try, because I don't think I'm going to have anything as good.
And I've dated guys who were like that. Like, I dated a guy whose parents' names were Mary and Joseph, and like, they were together for years, and he was just like, they're literally Mary and Joseph. Like, how, and they met in like kindergarten. Like, how am I going to ever top that?
But that's another thing about just a general thing, is that I try to keep my eyes on my own paper, and I don't focus on other people's relationships or
run your own race.
Run your own race. Yeah. Stay in your own lane, whatever. But just like, you're on your own journey and you don't have to worry about these dumb guys in this Vogue article or whatever it is. And just try it. And just, when you're having those feelings of, is this guy a cheater or am I so vulnerable right now? And, am I not safe? Just breathe through it and just like have your higher self inside of you kick in and take over and say, you're fine. I got this. Let's just have some fun tonight.
But I will say, like, if it does seem like something that's so insurmountable that you can't even fathom going on a first date, then really go see a therapist and talk to someone. Because I think you're really, like, spinning out on it and it's becoming a thing for you. And you need to talk it through and work it out.
No matter what, she should be talking to someone because this also seems like the type of person where I mean, not to lump you in, but I'm going to lump you in for a second and say that, like, oftentimes people who come at something with this much fear and, like, you just preconceived notions about what this is going to be, they act out in relationships because they can't handle it, or they're constantly accusing someone of something that didn't happen.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, they can't let themselves
being
be happy.
On edge.
Yeah. You need to learn how to let yourself be happy. And that's going to take work no matter what. And in any relationship, honestly, I think that if two people aren't working on themselves, you're screwed. There can't be one person working on themselves. You have some work to do. And I hope that whoever you find is open to some stuff in general too. But I'm going to be honest with you. Any guy that would date someone who's as afraid to date right now as you probably isn't the person you want to date either. Like it might need to be a combo of baby steps in the dating world and also really doing some work on yourself, because you need to be a self-actualized individual to attract what you want. You're still really, really young. You have at least 6 years of hardcore growth ahead of you, which is why I always tell people, like, when they get married before 30, I get very concerned about them because I think it's an odd choice and a little bit premature. But I think that you need to do that work. I feel there's plenty of there. I mean, this is not, the good thing about this is that this is not a wildly uncommon problem. So your therapist has probably talked to 3 other people. Your future therapist probably talked to 3 other people today.
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, like, everyone should go to therapy, man. Everyone should. No one's exempt from this.
Yeah. Everyone's got something.
Even like monks need to talk to someone.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure they do in their minds, like meditatively, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you guys, it was episode 155 of Please Advise. Oh my gosh, it's like that sounds like a round, cool. I mean, it's not a round number, but it sounds like a cool number.
A good number.
It's a multiple of 5.
Yeah.
Jess, thank you so much for being here. People can read your book, Jess Rona's Groomed, with Chooch on the cover. So if you don't know what you're looking for, look for a rainbow Chooch. Jess, what else where can people find you? Where can people, if they're in LA, if they want to make an appointment?
They can't do that, but
you're overbooked.
Yeah, I'm at my max.
So how do you know when you're not at your max?
Well, I mean, I do take referrals from current clients. Okay, but I'm just very picky for now about who I can let in because
you're overloaded. Did the book push you over the top? Are you getting hit up all the time?
I think people might be afraid to hit me up because they assume I'm so booked. So I don't get like a wave of people like I used to when I was just the Instagram was going nuts. But you could just find me on Instagram at Jess Rona Grooming.
It's great little vids. I love it. I'm a big fan. I love you. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
I have a really quick
amazing
question.
Yeah.
What would you recommend people do with their dogs or do for their dogs before they take them in to get groomed?
I think they should just create like a schedule where their dog gets groomed at least once a month, even a short-haired dog, professionally once a month.
Just so they get used to the process.
Yep, so they're used to it. Yeah.
Hey, is this some poodle that's on the back? Is this 2 dogs or 1?
Let me see. That's 1 dog.
That's 1 dog?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it looks like another dog is hugging it. This is crazy.
Yeah, she's a big, gorgeous standard poodle. She's the only dog in the book that I don't groom. that she is groomed by her mom, Kat Opson, who is one of my favorite groomers.
I mean, you guys get the book, if not just to see this dog that looks like
She's
dogs.
in the dog.
I have so many dog questions. Is there a breed that you prefer to groom?
Oh,
I
I
love
want to
poodles.
ask you about mine. So I really, I grew up with one. I really want a Samoyed so bad.
Oh,
and
God.
I grew up with one, and Gorky, and she is like the love of my life, and I really fucking want one. And I know it's a huge project to always have to deal with a Samoyed, because I did, but I was like 5. But they're the best fucking dogs, and they look like happy bears inside of a dog costume, and I just love them so much.
Yeah,
but they're really hard to find.
They are.
A purebred is hard
great
to find.
to have. I don't love seeing these, double coated dogs in LA where it's hot all year.
Yeah,
well,
I don't
not
want to
the
live
best
here
environment. Okay, great.
I mean,
if you
I
move
will,
somewhere
but yeah.
that is cold, I mean, get icy huskies and whatever, it's fine, but it's not the best environment for a double coated dog.
Yeah,
but I wonder if there's a Samoyed rescue you can get.
There is one in Canada. You can get one. Gorky was a show dog that the guy who showed her didn't want her anymore. Basically, she was probably 6 or something when we got her.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know. Is that when do they stop showing?
Yeah, about
she was
that
really
age.
young.
I mean,
yeah.
I think it depends on the dog.
Christina's face.
Look at this fucking dog.
I know. It's very rare
That's
to see Christina melt like that. And I love
dogs.
And you also you know all these dogs by name, man. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're all my clients.
I know, but
and there are some funny captions.
I know.
Mixed
Wags
into the
hates
book.
white dogs. Isn't that weird?
It's racist.
How old is Wags?
He's 11.
Okay.
He's still pretty young. He's never. Oh, he better be. I'm telling you. First of all, I had his whole body sewed back together last year.
Yeah.
Which was brutal. And I thought that was actually really I thought he kind of turned a corner. That's Nugget. That's Katy Perry's dog, right?
It's such a cute dog.
But
guys, just get this for the cute dogs alone.
I mean, that's mostly what it is. But
some of these dogs are serving some looks. Really.
I know.
This guy has little tiny tinfoil because his little
that's Daisy.
She's
getting her ears colored.
Her little highlights are getting set in.
But Wags, thankfully, so after he got attacked, the fur on his face turned gray.
Really?
And his whole face was gray, and it's come back to brown again.
Really?
Yeah. See, I mean, you don't see the gray on his face.
I mean, Chihuahuas live so long.
Yeah, I'm amazed that he could get gray and then turn back brown.
I haven't heard of that, but I guess he had a trauma.
Yeah,
and then he healed.
I also feed him beauty food.
Okay,
it's the Royal Canin beauty food for his beauty.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, they hear it. Wags, you want to say hi? You hear him?
If you get a Samoyed, you need to get that dog groomed once a month at least.
Oh yeah, I mean,
just because they blow their coat all year, and it's just going to be white fluff everywhere. I mean, you grew up with one, so you know.
It was rough.
It's a lot.
But I just
get a little. What about an American Eskimo? They're smaller.
Maybe
an American Eskimo mix, which you could find in a shelter.
Probably, yeah. Sexy.
That's Ruby Rose's dog.
Oh, so cute. What's his name? Her name?
That's Chance.
Oh, cute.
Or no, that's Charlie.
How many celeb dogs do you have in this book?
I have a bunch, but I don't list them. But if they're diehard fans, every dog's name is in the back. So people who know, the celebs and the fans can see the dogs' names and they could just put it together.
Here for it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure to see you. I have to go take a bath and then get beautiful for the charity event I'm going to once everyone else is shit-faced tonight. I decided not to
Fuck,
go.
I want to go.
I know. I wish I had known that you would. I mean, that you
I don't
didn't
even know about it.
Yeah, this is it's Beefsteak, which is a charity event that's it's mostly the comedy community that does it. But if anyone's interested, the money goes to Children's Hospital, I think. But this is the 7th one. I think this is probably my 5th year going. So it's really, it's the thing I do. I don't go anywhere, really. I mostly stay up here on this hill and just slender man it out. But I just slender man it out up here. But no, it's my thing that I do outside of Glendale still. I love Glendale, man. Do you come here often?
Yeah, I go to Yoga Ert.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, that's the shit.
Oh, I didn't know.
Have you been?
No.
It's the best vegan frozen yogurt in LA.
Where is it?
It's in Kenneth Village.
Oh, Kenneth Village is great. I go to the deli there. You don't eat
it's
meat,
right across the street.
From Arts Meat Market?
I'm not. It's across the street from a French bakery deli place.
Oh, Arts Meat Market is like old Armenian deli. I think it's Armenian, and that's where I get my chickens. Like when I roast a chicken, it's $8. Like it's
really,
$8 for
I do eat
chicken, and it's. I'm gonna tell you something. When you eat a chicken from there, I usually roast it myself. They can also roast it for you. When you eat it, you're like, oh, what is all the other meat I've been eating? Because this tastes like what meat is supposed to taste like. It's alarmingly fresh. It's so good.
I get my chicken from the farmer's market, and it's fucking $20.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I overcooked it, and I didn't know what I was doing, and now I'm like, I just wasted $20.
I think you do. I like to do $350 for. A lot of people say $400. Yeah, but I like to do $350 for a little bit longer because then it's a juicier. Chicken. Yeah. But Arts Meat Market and Deli, shout out to you guys. I know you don't have money to sponsor us.
You should also soak it in salt water before you cook it. Like brine it,
Yeah.
I don't do that.
I gotta up my game.
I've started brining my chicken breast and it's totally changed. Like
I don't know if you can do it with a whole chicken. Can you
totally
brine it?
Yeah. Because you can brine you're supposed to brine turkey before you cook it.
Oh. So did we do that time we made?
No, we didn't.
No.
All
right. Well, when I cook a turkey or anything next time.
Some come pre-brined, but
I'm nervous about that.
No, I just have to do a dry brine. I know a lot about brining.
Oh, you do? Yeah. Okay. Well, Christina was the one who got me up on the cast iron. So. Yeah. All right, you guys, we got to go. Malls has to get pretty.
Sorry, guys.
Jess, thank you so much for being here. It's only 4:05. We got you out of here.
Listen, I know how to do. I produce this shit on time.
I know. Yes, I love you, girl. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
I will see you guys next week. Wags.
I don't believe him. I don't care. I'm like,
Wags, no one's buying into this. Shh. Wags. No.
So
I can't say it with authority. It's a joke. I'm like, no.
I mean, if I were you, I would put him on the floor.
Oh, okay. That's
anytime he does that.
Oh.
And then we ignore.
Sorry, Wags. All right, we got to go. All right, bye, guys.